All right, guys. So chair yoga for tonight. Let's start just seated in a chair. Okay. So a lot of the traditional, even like a lot of the monks, when I was staying with the monks in India, they would not sit on the floor anymore if they were. Some of the monks were in their 80s, 90s, and they would meditate in a chair. So how about we just take a few moments just to sit up tall? It's kind of a general thing in yoga. We take a moment to kind of ground and center, just to create a little bit of clarity and focus. So just sit up nice and tall. Nice big inhale in your nose. Nice big exhale. Just taking a few more deep breaths in and out the nose. Remember, we're attempting to meditate on the breath, so following it with your mind's eye. And just some food for thought here. We do want to make sure that our chair is pretty sturdy and not too slippery. There might be a couple of occasions where I push it up against the wall. You can see I have it on my yoga mat, so it'll less likely slip. And obviously it can tip over. So I will mention that as we go through this. We will keep it pretty basic this evening. But always just be a little extra cautious about that. Okay? Nice big inhale in your nose, please. Big exhale. So this is nice exercise to learn just in case you're on a plane, you're sitting at a desk a lot, okay? So first exercise here is the good old cat-cow. You might want to come to the edge of your chair here, but again, watching them, making sure it doesn't slip. My knees, my feet do widen a little bit. On the inhale, I'm going to lift my chest, arch my back, maybe lift my chin. On my exhale, it's like my cat posture. Now, it's a little bit different because your sit bones are against the chair. But I do roll to the back of my sit bones. Inhale, I'm going to roll to the front of my sit bones. You might feel the edge of your chair kind of get into the hamstrings like a massage. Exhale. So a nice little cat-cow here. Okay. Notice I'm kind of pulling my elbows back a little, and then my arms go forward. When you're thinking of a warm-up in exercise, I always like to give the idea of thinking the spinal movements first, okay? And then you get into your major joints, and then maybe you get into more of those complex movements. So I'm taking a few more. Just the idea is to kind of move the spine, lubricate it with the blood. There's a lot of synovial fluid in there, and your cerebral spinal fluid in the spinal column, the cord. That's a fluid of the nervous system, right? So it's nice to make sure nothing's stuck in there. All right, next movement here for the spine, yogis. Let's keep it simple to start today. Let's take our hands up behind our head. I'm going to widen my feet here just to get a nice base, just to make sure I'm sturdy. And again, I'm repositioning my sit bones so I feel pretty comfortable. I'm just going to take a little side bend. I'm lifting my left elbow up here, okay? Then I'm going to come back in center, over to the right. Try not to like dump down in the waist here. Try to make sure you're lifting up a little bit. Now, if this is too much, you could always do something like this. It's similar to standing, right? As long as we're in like a side movement, this is a little bit more supportive, okay? Just to get those arms turning on a little bit more here. Last few, side to side. Chair yoga is such a functional form of it because people sit so much, okay? Now I'm going to bring my feet a little bit closer. If you're okay with it, let's bring the arms wide here. And it's just nice and light, okay? Let's start actually here, excuse me, arms here to start, okay? Now lift the chest and just twist to the right a little bit. Back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. So we're just twisting nice and light here. Inhale. Remember, it's not like an assisted stretch like twist. We're turning on our core muscles. Notice I'm not really letting my legs buckle or anything like that. If you want to go a little bit faster here at the end, A lot of times we've done the yoga scope in this class where we add very light weights, 2 5-pound weights, and sometimes they combine chair and the weighted yoga. All right, guys, next exercise here. Think of it as a squat to start. So I do want to come up. You got to kind of brace yourself, maybe even move back a little, depending on your chair. I have a wooden chair. Hopefully, maybe if you need, you can put down padding here. So I'm going to reach my arms forward. I'm going to shift my weight to my feet, stand up, reach my arms up, arms back. I'm going to slowly sit down, lean back, shoulders over hips, lean forward minimal. Inhale, exhale, inhale. You can do a little bit more if you want to reach your arms back a little bit. Start moving our arms. Now, it depends on your chair, right? We don't want to flop too hard on the chair. So there's a little thing you can do here, guys. If you kind of feel yourself falling back too much, you make the chair a little bit taller. So now I'm a little bit more lifted, and I can get up easier, and I also can sit down a little bit easier. So there's a nice little modifier. Now in the strong sometimes, when we're doing really strong yoga, right, you kind of go here. Oh my God, all the way down, right? Come back up. Some days, and that's similar. The idea is to sit down and stand up. That's something we have to practice a lot because we got to do it in life. And just to be clear, I'm squeezing my butt at the top. Last few. It's kind of like a squat, yogis. It's something to get a little weight and shifting forward and back into the legs, okay? Try not to let your knees buckle in and out, right? It could be pretty difficult exercise. It's okay if you need to rest. Now we take that first seated stretch, nice and simple, right? Slowly sit down. If you'd like, again, I like to kind of move a little bit forward. As you can see, my sit bones are more on the edge of the chair. Reach those arms up, and then right hand goes behind you, maybe on the chair, left hand on the knee. And now look how tall I can sit when I twist. So good. Try to sit up a little taller, gaze over that shoulder. Now, don't let the knee buckle in via the hand, okay? It's almost like the outer right knee is pushing a little bit into that hand. Now go slow, guys. Inhale, you can reach our arms up. Right hand down. Again, left hand can kind of reach behind, finding a little light grip on the chair somewhere. Just make sure you're rooting through your sit bones, sitting up tall and twisted. All right, guys, let's come back to center. Next exercise is an exercise I actually did 3 days ago. It's a common fitness exercise, but traditionally people would put weight on their back, okay? So when I did this the other night, I put about 100 pounds on my back. Our objective is I'm gonna widen my feet like this, just a little bit, okay? Now, I do wanna hinge from my hips. I am bending over here, yogis. So we're not going to touch the toes yet. We'll do that in a moment. Hands can go on the hips. I'm going to press through my big toes. I'm going to hinge. Notice my chest comes down. I'm going to strong back up. Okay? Now, again, you might want to readjust your sit bones. You might want to put padding down. It is always good to drape a blanket over your chair if you're using a hard chair like I am. So I'm going to hinge, inhale. Exhale for 1, right up to tall. Inhale. Exhale. Let me just give the quick demo. The first one was where we were going like this, right? We did that. Now we're kind of like here. You know the exercises we do a lot of? Very similar here, yogis. Try to keep weight in your feet, okay? And hinge that chest between your legs, and strong core and back come up. Come on, couple more. This is one that you can do with weight. Like say I had a little dumbbell, you use that weight to just get a little bit more tension. You know, as that muscle is lengthened, it has to control more weight. So again, we are practicing bending over now, okay? Please take your time. That was our first bending over. Now bring your feet a little bit more hips width distance. Nice and easy. Inhale, reach our arms up. And then we're going to hinge, basically abdomen, chest on the thighs. Hands can go near the ankles on the feet. Let the head hang. Now go slow. Elongate through your core. Let's rise up. Now here's the first one. We're really going to shift weight into our arms. Be careful. Don't let your chair slide or fall over. I'm going to get to the edge of my chair. I'm going to put my hands on that chair. I'm going to bend my knees. Now watch what I'm going to do. Push through my hands and feet equally. I'm going to lift the hips and chest. I'm going to carefully bring my butt toward the chair. This is where we're getting a little bit more difficult, okay? Now, your feet can be closer, but that tends to be more difficult to move. So if you bring your feet a little bit more close, even your hands a little bit more in the center, you'll notice if I lift my chest, press those feet down, I can lift my hips, okay? Remember, it's very important, yogis, that we strengthen our back line. This class so far has been dominant of stretching the back line. So not easy here. Looks like this. I kind of tap my butt, and then I go back up, okay? Think of it like a cobra or a bridge. It's basically a bridge pose, okay? Last few. Notice I'm using my buttocks muscles to push my hips forward and up. Right, we want to strengthen this lower back area, and this is a fantastic, you know, say you're sitting in a chair a lot, you move your chair back from the desk, you go like this. That is really good, guys, because we're always here, and this is lengthened. So you throw in a couple of these light exercises during the long 8-hour workday, and it's going to really help with aches and pains from the sitting, okay? So that's our butt muscles, let's say, okay? Next exercise, you might want to slide back a little bit. You can even lean back. Not easy. Slowly, right knee lift. See if you can get your right heel foot up on the chair. Now I want to take my fingers intertwined right below the shin. Pull the heel in more. See if I can sit up a little bit higher. Okay, so I'm here. Think of it like a child pose, right? Yoga squat, similar. Try to sit up tall. I am going to add on here now, guys. Okay, so our right knee's into our chest here. Now I'm lifting up to sit up nice and tall. My back's against the chair. This is our moving leg now. I want to flex my foot, engage my leg. I'll show you from another angle. I'm going to lower it down. Exhale, straighten and flex. So you're going to feel your thigh turning on. Let me show you. I want you to try to keep going with that till you get to about 12 rounds. Flex that foot, engage that thigh. That's part of our knee rehab. Lower down, tap. That's called knee extension. Just like sometimes if you've ever gone to the gym, there's that machine, you hook your ankles under and you go like this. We will do a double round in a moment. Shake it out, release your first leg. And then our second side starts with now the left knee coming in and up. This is like a yoga squat for the back. Okay, now hold the shin. I know some of us were holding the chair. That's okay too. Our main real objective here is to engage that right leg, tap the heel down, engage that right leg. Flex the foot too, yogis. So it's shin and quad. Tap the heel, straighten the leg. Does everyone feel that in their thigh? Nice job. So that's about 10 for me. A good standard is about 6 for a beginner, 12, 15 is really even better with no weight, okay? Now go nice and slow, sit up nice and tall. Another round. Now listen, guys, this is where it gets a little bit more challenging. If you're just coming in a little after we started, we already did this here. I want you to do it again. If you want challenge, it's one-legged. You don't have to do this. It's just to show you where it goes. My left knee is lifted. I'm just warning you, this is not easy stuff. My left foot never goes down. If you have sensitive knees, maybe skip that. But the idea is getting up and down off of a chair on one leg. It is very challenging. If not, I want a second round of sitting to standing, okay? Last few yogis. If you want a little extra challenge, what you could do is close your eyes. It's a little bit different. Close your eyes and try it. Last few, please. Think of that like a sun salutation almost. Sit back down, one more round. Hands go on chair. Feet walk more forward. Press their feet and hands. Lift hips up. Tap your butt. Lift hips up. Tap your butt. This is our bridge. Continue, please. Now, you'll see, continue. Later, we will do something like this, and there is the option of doing bridge like this. That is from the stronger classes. But in the easiest form, like say you're in the office, you just do it like this, right? You're in your work clothes, you can't necessarily lay on the ground. So you just go like this. What's nice is there's weight on your arms, which is also, if you're here a lot, front shoulder, and as I go back here and put that weight down, it's gonna be the back of my shoulders. This is one of the best ones for people who sit a lot, right here, okay? And it's not necessarily easy, yogis, okay? So let's sit back down, let's shake it out a little bit. Don't hit your chair, you might want to scooch a little forward, do some arm circles. Just nice big arm circles for tonight, nothing too in particular here. And then you can reverse directions. It's good to move those shoulders, guys. They're always kind of down by our sides. You want to start moving those shoulders a little bit more than you normally do, okay? A nice shoulder stretch is next. Right arm goes across. And I'm just grabbing that left elbow with my right elbow with my left forearm, straightening my right elbow. Just 2 to 3 breaths here. Okay, big inhale, please. Second side. Again, my left arm goes across, palm face the back, and that right arm is pulling that left arm. But at the same time, I kind of just gently pull that left shoulder a little bit back. We've done this one a lot. Okay, big inhale, please. Back to center, shake it out. All right, so this is a light way to do core on your chair. You got to be a little bit, detailed and particular. So I'm going to, again, go to the front of my edge of my chair. Now, you can start by having your hands on your thighs. It's quite simple. I don't want to round my spine. I want to try to keep my spine nice and erect here. And I'm just going to lean back. So it's almost like my feet are going to lift. You're going to feel some tension through your hip flexors and your abdomen. Okay? You could reach your arms forward or up a little bit if you wanted more. Now, the idea is my sit bones and feet stay down. And I lean back to where it's almost like my feet want to lift. Okay? Breathe. Try to lift your chest a little bit more. Pull your belly in a little bit more. You can feel your abdomen hopefully turning on a little bit. And then come back forward. Again, hands could be here. Lean back again, please. Back up. Now, if you'd like a little bit more, you can choose to stay with our first variation or lean back. You might want to grab your chair for a little support. I'm going to lift my feet. If I want more, I lift my knees. And I could work on straightening my legs more. Oh, boat pose. You know we do. Now, I'm not leaning back, okay? I want to be off the back of my chair. My abdomen, my hip flexors. You're going to feel a lot right through here in the hips. So you're almost balancing on your chair now. Last couple breaths. This is not easy, man. This one burns those hip flexors, okay? It's interesting when you see how much we can do. I used to teach at the YMCA. This was years ago now, 2012 and 13. We used to have the active older adults, so we do chair yoga a lot. Okay, it's been years though, and I miss it. Let's come back up. Shake it out, guys. Now, figure four stretch here. It requires some flexibility. Again, I'm going to be on the edge of my chair here again. Rip the right knee. See if you can get that right ankle on the left knee. So I'm in this figure four. To start, I'm going to flex the foot. I'm going to try to sit up tall. I'm going to support my knee here. Now, to start, I'm just going to hold here. Okay? So if you need another angle, make sure you flex that foot. Sit up tall. Now, if you wanted a bigger stretch, trying to keep your spine nice and long, you start to bring your chest forward toward the inner right shin. Right, it's like we've done our bridges. It's like we've done our child pose or knees into the chest. It's like, we put some tension on the front and back body. It's all the same kind of stuff, okay? Now, in more of the challenge practice, you don't have to do this. We do work on the same idea of slowly shifting forward. Standing up. Proceed with caution, okay? Just suggestions to kind of show you some stuff. You don't have to do it, okay? Sit up tall, guys. Second side. Shake your leg out a little bit. Left ankle to top right knee. A good 30, 45 second stretch here. A stretch we always do in yoga. If you want more, flex that left foot, lean a little bit forward over the leg. Like say you're flying or something and you get that piriformis kind of irritation. This is a good stretch to remember. All right, yogis, please take your time. We'll sit up, legs go forward, slowly stand up. All right, guys, now we're going to take our chair in a little bit different position. You're going to think downward dog. So now my hands are going to start on my chair. Don't let it rock forward and back or slide. Okay? I start to walk back. I bend my knees, just like down dog. I start to let the chest go between the arms. Here's my stretch. Notice I have my hands pressing down into the chair. My heels are about under my hips. My knees are bent. Feet are about hips width distance. I do want to press down here. Couple breaths. You could work bending your knees a little bit. straightening your legs a little bit more. Bending your knees a little bit, straightening your legs a little bit more. A few more breaths. As you practice more, maybe walking your feet a little bit more away from your chair, letting your chest dip a little bit lower. You're gonna feel a big stretch in your underarms, okay? Try not to let your spine round. Big inhale. Slowly walk your feet forward, stand up, turn your back to the chair. So our arms are just stretching under here, yogis. That's our biggest like lat muscle. Now we want to stretch the chest and it's the front of your shoulder, commonly tight because our arms are forward. Don't let your chair rock or slide, okay? Be easy. You know, something you could do here if you needed was put that chair up against a firm wall or a counter. So what I'm going to do here now, yogis, I got a couple options. I bring my feet a little bit more forward. Now to start, roll, press down into your chair and lift your heart. Don't let your back arch. Let me show you a little bit better here. I know my camera's like the fisheye lens. It did not say that in the description when I bought it. See that? I'm really opening my heart. Now I don't want my back to arch. You see how the buttocks can stick out? I want to try to bring the hips forward and lift the chest. Think of it like a cobra. It's a really nice stretch for the heart and the chest. Looks good, everyone. All right, yogis, let's slowly come back up here. We're going to revisit that position in a few moments. Let's come now facing our chair. So I'm just facing right up on the chair. Now, there's a couple options here. We want to be kind of careful. You know, first time doing chair work. Now, nice and simple, we're going to bring the right foot up on the chair. Okay? Now, a lot of times in this, don't do this right now. You're welcome to do it if you want, but it looks like this. Remember that hiking is one of our best exercises. Not walking on flat ground, but walking up steep incline and down steep incline. If you really want to signal your bones to get strong, I'm stepping up, I'm stepping down. Okay, now I have my wall right here. Look, I'm using the wall. I have a really sturdy wood chair, one of those old style, made out of real wood, right? And it's sturdy. Since I see most of you maybe trying it, it depends on how high your chair is too, right? You're gonna shift forward. I am stepping back down with the same leg. So these are called step-ups. So good for leg strength, okay? Now, if you can't do that, there's a little thing you can try instead. Let me demo here. I'm gonna go up nice and tall. Hands on hips or hands high. Okay, now watch what I do. I just lift my right foot up, hold, tap my heel. Lift my foot up and hold, tap my heel. Higher. Last few. So this is the hip flexor area. I've mentioned this before, like I'll go to the gym. I did this yesterday. I'll hook my foot under a kettlebell, 25 pounds, and I'll go up, tap the kettlebell, up, tap the kettlebell. You know, if we can make that hip flexor nice and strong, it can really help take pressure out of the psoas, okay? All right, second side, yogis. Some of you are still going with your step-ups. You don't have to do both, right? It depends on what you're feeling. You're welcome to do both. But our one option here, step up, step down. Same side, step up. Be careful, please. Step down. If you want a little bit more lighter option, you're going to work that standing glute here, and the hip flexor here. Tap the heel, lift it up. Tap the heel, lift it up. Go ahead, please. Get your bones. Those are both really nice options, yogis, for the legs in chair work, because we did hip thrusts, and now we're doing, in a sense, lunges. All right, let's keep going here, guys. All right, next, I want to try to do a push-up. Now, got to be extra careful here. Push-ups are this is a great place to start push-ups. You know, you can do something like this. Obviously, you don't hit your head on the chair, right? If you needed it higher up, remember, a real beginner push-up starts like this. Notice I am bracing my chair, and I'm on the highest point. And I bend, and I straighten. When I work with people who really can't do push-ups, notice my chair is pushing because my weight will make it slide forward, right? So, okay, now more. Last few. Yeah, push-ups are really good exercise, yogis. It's going to work your legs, your core, and your arms. So anytime we can find, you don't have to be that warmed up either, really, for a push-up, okay? It can be in your dynamic warm-up. All right, guys, so now I want to continue with our arm strength for a moment, since we did quite a couple legs earlier. Here's where it's going to get a little tough, and again, you might need to brace your weight here. So let me show you guys. Now, it looks like this. I bend my knees a little, I bend my arms a little, and I straighten my legs and my arms. So remember we did this. Now, I go here. Okay? Go aside, go aside, go aside. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. Go pee-pees. Go pee-pees. My little puppy here woke up, and now she's going crazy. More challenging if you look up at me here. It's a classic exercise called like a dip or a tricep extension. Our arms are behind us, and we're kind of going, okay? Our arms were just here in the push-up. Now they're here. Last few, please. All right, yogis, nice job with working those arms. Let's come back up. Sit in our chair. So here's something a little bit different now. A common pose that you're used to in stronger yoga called Warrior Two. Now my right foot's gonna turn out to the right. I'm kind of gonna pivot here. My left foot's also gonna open up. Now this one takes a little bit of time to get into here. As you can see, my right knee is hooked over my chair. My right toes are facing to the right. My left leg is now straight. My toes are angled. So this is Warrior Two, yogis. Okay, so now we're gonna try it here. All right, so I gotta turn to the right, turn my right toes out. I gotta slowly walk my left foot out. I gotta kind of adjust here to get into this. It depends on the chair. Now, at the Y, we had these like steel chairs, and they were a little bit lower than what I'm using. This is a little bit different. Back toes angle forward, arms go wide. Now, you could bring your knees, feet a tiny bit closer and lift up a little if you wanted to. Okay? It's interesting to drop down and lift up. Again, be easy. You know, it's working your knee in new ways. Okay? So I kind of lift up a little bit. And then I go down. You'd be surprised. You can feel that burn in your legs. Last few. All right, yogis, slowly come to warrior two. Soften your left knee, come to neutral. There's a nice little thing you can do to neutralize here, widen your feet. We do this a lot where I kind of draw circles with the core. And again, I have this wooden chair, so the edge of my chair, I actually kind of like it. It's digging into my hamstring. It's like a pressure point, trigger point massage. My hamstrings happen to be sore, so it's kind of some therapeutic snuck in there. And then you go the opposite side. Just to be clear, I am holding on to my chair or my knees. Getting that core moving, okay? And then I open up to the left, turn my left toes out. I slide my left knee kind of into the crease. I start to open my leg, my right leg. Okay, so I'm here. See how I find a nice stack position. Now you can just hold here. Try to lift that core, breathe. If you want a little bit more, you're gonna have to walk your back foot in. You can lift up a little bit and you're kind of hovering. And then I drop down a little bit and I lift. Now, there is a lot of, depending on your anatomy and your chair, how your body's gonna relate. You got short legs, you got a really tall, wide chair. If your chair is really wide and your legs are really short, it's gonna be tough. It'd be easier if your legs are long and you're short, your chair is narrow, right? So, just have some fun with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. When in doubt, just hold the warrior two on the chair. You keep doing what you're doing. Slowly, back to center, widen your feet, circle your core. Stand up, please. Now here's one. In a sense, what we're doing is warrior one or lunge, warrior two open hip, and then warrior three. Then we'll do a couple nice big stretches for you guys, okay? So this next one is supposed to represent a lunge. You kind of have to be extra aware here, right? So I could use the wall, the chair. It might be good to have your chair up against the wall. Anytime that's a good idea. Okay, now I'm going to show you from the side here. There's multiple ways to do this. So I'm going to start with my right foot on the chair, my left hand on the chair. Now I could bend forward here, right? Depending on your level of flexibility, maybe you try to get your left foot back a little. I'm using my hand. I simply bend the right knee a little and I straighten it a little bit. Okay, so it looks kind of like this. Now look at my chair already wanted to move. See that? I'm holding with this left hand. I'm kind of holding it down. I have it to the side because I can grip the chair easier. You can do it like this too, guys. Now, say, that's too much. A nice, easier way here, guys, look. Notice I am going straight. I'm trying to go more straight down in this variation. If you watch my upper body, it kind of goes straight down and up. I'm not really going forward. I'm more working those legs. Last few. You're going to feel your quadriceps because our main action is knee extension and flexion. Just so we're clear, you're going to get a nice stretch for your quad next. So I do want you to, in a sense, really work those legs. You were just working your inner thigh more and your outer hip more. Now we're right into the front and the back of those legs. Okay, second side, yogis. Now, I do want to show you. I'm not saying do this necessarily right now, okay? In the more challenging variations of chair yoga, we're here, and we're here. okay? I have to have the edge of my foot on it. Just so we're clear, it does go a lot further, and eventually we do like jumping, okay? I didn't want to really mention that, but just, there's no reason to hold anything back from at least suggesting, right? So you kind of, if you're really going for strength, that's a really interesting way to do it, all right? Keeping that foot up a little higher, a lot more challenge to the legs, to the core, okay? But otherwise, our easiest version last few, guys. So we only got about 15 minutes left in class, and your stretching is about to start. Now, I do want to do Warrior 3. So we did Warrior 1 and 2. Now let me show you guys. Starts with being about, 1.5 feet from your chair, maybe 2 foot if you're a little bit taller, longer spine. I hinge now, and I put my hands here. Okay? I'm gonna walk my feet a little bit closer together, shift my weight to my right foot. Left leg goes back and up. Now I want to drop that left hip down. I don't want to open here. I want to drop that hip down and lift that left leg. All right, nice deep breathing. If you want a little bit more, reach your right arm out and up and go for that revolved. Now we're doing very challenging variations. You could just take your right hand on your hip and open your chest to the right a little. So my left leg is up and back, and I'm twisting my chest. Last few, yogis. All right, big inhale. Let's slowly bring the top hand down and the top leg down. If you want a moment to stand up, little back bend or a little twist. Now, eventually, I brought it to revolve moon. We're not going to do the outer hip. Can't do everything tonight. Hinge. We're here. Bend, standing knee. Left leg goes up and back. Excuse me, right leg, second side, right leg. Don't let your back arch. Pull the ribs in. A lot of us just stay here. Strong legs, strong hands. If you want a little bit more, left hand on your hip, twist your chest to the left. A lot more, left arm out and up. So we're not going to do yogis like, we're going to start the next stretching with triangle, and that's going to be your open hip. So I'm doing 1/2 moon, 1 triangle, the opposite of each. So the counter will be the opposite form of a different posture. Please go slow. Feet down, hands down, stand up, neutralize. So this starts kind of our stretching here. Think hamstring triangle. So my chair is facing directly forward, okay? I'm gonna step my feet about hips width, about 3 feet wide. Notice my left foot is in front of the chair, my right foot is not. I'm gonna turn my left foot out. I'm gonna widen my feet a little bit. I wanna be on a nice surface here. Now my right toes turn to the left too. I'm setting up for triangle, okay? So my left toes are open. My right toes angle a little forward to the left as well. My left foot's out. I'm gonna drop my left hip down, hinge, find my chair, triangle. Now you can even bend your knee. We do side angle here, where people lay their forearm on the chair. Either way this works, okay? But what I was gonna instruct is triangle, where our hand, you can do your forearm if you're quite flexible, is on the chair. I wanna lengthen my left side bottom body, drive my left hip forward, twist my chest up. Just to be clear, yogis, I want to activate my legs and lengthen my spine, okay? Trying to relax the shoulders. It's a nice, sometimes we do triangle and you got to touch the floor or the block and that's too low. Chair is a really nice way to get people into that same type position, okay? That's not so strenuous on the lower back. I wish chairs were much more just practical prop in yoga because we use them a lot, okay? Back up, please. Nice and simple. Step your feet together, and then we'll do our second side. Right foot in front of the chair. Right toes turn out. Widen your stance a little bit. I want a good 3 feet. I don't want to see those feet too close together, okay? Now I got to reposition my feet, make sure they're nice and comfortable. My right hip, it's this front hip, goes down. And then I start to reach and find my chair. A lot of us are going to stay here. You can start to bend the arm a little bit. Try to engage your legs. The muscles above the knee engage, the quadricep. Lengthen your right side body. Try to drive your right hip forward and twist your chest up to the sky. If you'd like, you could reach up. Some of us are bending the knee for more side angle. Some of us are putting forearm on the chair, whether it's triangle or side angle. A few more breaths, guys. Sorry guys, trying to get hydrated. I have my sauna appointment tonight at 8 o'clock, so got to make sure I'm hydrated. All right, yogis, let's come back up. That's our inner back leg. Let's think about stretching our front leg. We do Virasana. We lay on our back, and we also grab the foot. Now we're going to do it here. So we stand up tall. Right hand on that chair. Left hand reaches and grabs the foot behind us. Now, this is first version. There is cross spine, where left hand grabs right foot. I don't like to see you do this where I rotate. I want to really see you keep that in the front body. Notice how I'm not here, I'm not here, I'm not here. I'm sitting up nice and tall, pulling my heel to my butt. I also do not want to see this, yogis, where the knee goes forward. I want to pull it back. I don't want to see your back arch. I want to pull the ribs in. Now, as I pull my ribs in, the knee wants to go forward. That's the work. Stand up, that's our tree work. Pull the knee back, pull your ribs in, pull your heel to your butt. If I had to pick one stretch for sitting, it's this. Last 2-3 breaths. Slowly release, shake it out, please. Watch the heels. Shouldn't calf raise. Second side, please. Right hand, right foot. Try to hold it. I'm combining like a tree balance here, okay? I really think that the quads aren't stretched enough. I remember when we were learning the biomechanical locomotion, I remember that the vastus lateralis, this outer quad, it has to contract in its complete length in a very complex form to stabilize the IT band. This big band, this tendon that runs up and down to connect hip across knee and through shin. And it's just contracting every step right there. And it needs to be stretched a lot. And we really don't stretch it enough. It's got to remember that, yeah, guys, okay? It's important. All right, yogis, let's slowly shake that out. I want to do one more peak hamstring stretch. We did a little bit of light ones. We didn't do a big one yet. We haven't touched our toes. Now watch me. Our first option here, now you might want to, we're still on one leg. Left foot here. Now, you might have to bend your knee a little bit. Okay, you might want to hold the wall. And I'm going to start to hinge forward. Now, if you can't do that, it looks more like this, yogis. Left foot forward, and I start to hinge here. Notice it's pyramid, a yoga posture you do, but with a nice prop to engage my legs. Notice my left foot is forward, my back toes are angled forward. My left hip goes back as my left leg is forward. With practice, you can give a little bit more like this. Engage those legs and keep your spine long, right? This is usually how we do revolved triangle as well, but I didn't do that today. If you wanted the big version here, watch me. Now, obviously, you do not want to tip over your chair, okay? This is the big one. Leg as high as hip, left hip back and down. Trying to keep my spine long, right? You can bend your knees a little bit if you need. Slowly, please. Left foot down, shake it out. Right foot on the chair or forward next to the chair. Either way, we're hinging our chest forward. They all are, in a sense, the same position, okay? Last few breaths, close your eyes, please. Stretch and breathe. I love to stretch my foot like this. You know, we're not going to go through it all, but I do like to give the demo since it's class. So if I may show you quickly, we're doing this very front oriented here, right? What I like to eventually do is turn my right toes out, my left foot still here. I like to go like this. I'm not going to do it all tonight because we don't have time, but then I'll turn the foot down and I'll bend the knee here. Okay, and I'm kind of in now in the inner thigh. So I went from really in the back to somewhat in the back medial to very medial, okay? And then from there, you know, what we do is that second pigeon round where we go here. If you guys like chair, we can do another one, right? It's always good to repeat. And then eventually, why don't we just do this? Let's all go here, left foot up. Stand up tall, we're gonna twist. Right hand outside the thigh and reach your left arm behind you. Deepest twist of class, okay? And eventually we do that straight leg too. So if we were gonna take this a lot further, this is where it would all start to go. I know I kind of ran through that quick, but for time's sake, we're pretty much out of time. If I may show you again, this is first position. I'm open. This is second. This is third, right? This is fourth. Look, this is the last one. That's how we start to go a lot further, okay? We did both straight legs. I want to do the twist on the second leg. Here. Notice I started to go here. I want to be more here. Hips, shoulders, heel stack. It's like you're on your back, right? You pull the knee in the chest, you bring it over. Same position. Now, if I may, there's a few things we didn't get to cover, like where we go like this, yogis. We do this all the time in yoga, down dog to cobra. If we have another week of this, I'm thinking about doing it. More people showed up for this than my animal flow, so you know, we'll go with what works. So we do that. If I may show you just really quickly for fun. Eventually I'm here with my right foot on the chair, hands inside. I'm kind of like a lizard. This is a little bit more of the advanced practice, okay? We even do stuff like this. We even come to pigeon here. We always have to stabilize our chair more. I'm not going to show you the details, but we go here, bending and straightening, lifting. I'm in pigeon pose. The outer shin is down, okay? But I want to take you down to the ground for a nice restorative pose because I was hoping to have a little bit more time for that, but let's do this here. We're going to slowly make our way to our butt, and we're going to put our legs up. This is from restorative yoga, like inverted legs. If you want to throw your legs up the wall, you're more than welcome to. But I would like you to widen your arms here. We did a lot. The class was a very active approach to chair yoga, okay? So this is called the Viparita Karani, the inverted legs. You know, I work my legs more than I do my upper body in my own exercise, and I get compression therapy a lot, and I do the foam rolling, and I also elevate my legs a lot. So tonight in the sauna, I rent out a single person sauna in Hermosa, and I can just lay on my back and put my legs up the wall. It's a, you know, either a 30-minute or a 50-minute session, and I can put my legs up for 15 to 20 minutes whenever they're feeling sore. It's so powerful to really get those legs up and just stay there. So why don't we give that a few extra breaths tonight? Maybe we'll stay here to close class, unless there's something else you feel like we didn't do. Pretty much covered the whole body. A little lacking in the neck, maybe any like wrists or something, but we did a good job tonight. Okay, so how about we call this our final pose? We'll kind of take it like Shavasana tonight, since we are here in the end of class. 2 to 3 more minutes if you can handle it, okay? Maybe a couple nice deep breaths. There hasn't been that much focus on it because of the weird approach toward exercise. So maybe now you close your eyes, coming back to the breath like the beginning, a nice slow deep inhale in your nose. And a slow deep exhale, just really feeling the breath kind of calming down. No, please take your time. It's about 6:33. Went a little bit over tonight. If you want to hang a little bit longer, legs are achy, probably good. Stay where you are. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. You know, it's really, you can see how much fun we can have with the chair and how much you can really do. And it's such a surprising little thing people can exercise with. And there are some even more difficult things we could do if you're really looking for strength. And you can always add weights to a lot of those movements where you're kind of holding weights and sitting up, or you know, just kind of even just sitting and going like stuff like this. It's a really powerful tool to use in your exercise for better form and support in the body. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any feedback or you want to go another round of this, remember Wednesday evenings has been a rotating style class, just giving you some different perspectives in your body and your exercise. And I do have some other ideas, but thank you guys. Really nice job. I appreciate you being open-minded and trying some new stuff. Namaste, everyone.